Wonderwall is one of those tracks where if it comes on at a party, some people will roll their eyes and run to the hills, while others will grab the nearest bucket hat, clear their throat, and get ready to belt out the words. What category do you fall into? Whether you love or hate the song, you can't deny it has picked up a certain stereotype. That being, any wannabe who wants to learn acoustic guitar will probably turn to Wonderwall pretty early on. Guitar shop owners tend to hate the track because it's the first thing someone will play when picking up a guitar. It's the subject of countless memes and videos associating the track with amateur musicianship and annoying frequency.
Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
With its relentless radio play since its release, a lot of people have come to despise the tune. Even the Gallagher brothers themselves. So what is the story of Wonderwall and how did it pick up this stereotype? And I promise I'm not just making this video out of spite because I didn't manage to get a ticket to the Oasis reunion. Bloody Ticketmaster. Wonderwall has become an anthem, a 90s hit that's outlived its time and evolved into a modern classic. Originally released on Oasis's second album, What's the Story Morning Glory, Wonderwall continues to resonate, consistently streaming around 500,000 times per week, or 750,000 when including both audio and video streams, according to Alpha Data. In 2019, Rolling Stone magazine's Tim Ingham estimated that the track might generate $2,650 per day, which would generate around $1 million per year. In recent years, as Ingham highlights, it remains one of the rare tracks from the 20th century to break into Spotify's Top 200, a chart mostly dominated by contemporary pop, hip-hop, and Latin music. Wonderwall made an immediate impact upon its release, not just because it deviated from the energetic new British invasion sound that had defined Oasis, but also because it was a heartfelt expression of love and support for someone facing difficulties. The song definitely lacked the usual swagger of the band's earlier hits. Instead, it was sincere and emotionally raw, with a straightforward melody and arrangement that exposed a more vulnerable side of both Oasis and Liam Gallagher. From the very beginning, the song had a timeless quality. An important question to ask though, what the hell is it about? Since Noel Gallagher wrote Wonderwall during his relationship with his future wife, British club icon Meg Matthews, many have speculated that the song is about her. However, Noel has recently dismissed this theory, possibly because the couple split in 2000. Speaking to BBC Radio 2, he explained, "The media took the meaning of that song away from me. And how do you tell your missus it's not about her once she's read that it is? It's actually a song about an imaginary friend who's going to come and save you from yourself." Liam Gallagher acknowledges that the title Wonderwall is a nod to George Harrison's experimental 1968 solo album, Wonderwall Music. But he also believes the song has roots in their childhood, when they would scribble notes and thoughts on their bedroom wallpaper. When Oasis gathered at Wales's legendary Rockfield Studios in May 1995 to start work on their second album, Noel Gallagher played Wonderwall for his brother Liam, who was less than impressed. "At first, I didn't like it," Liam admits. "I thought, what the fuck is this tune? I said I don't like this, it's a bit funky. It gave me Police vibes, it was a bit Sting. I prefer the heavier stuff. I told him this doesn't suit me, man." Despite these early reservations, Liam and Noel Gallagher decided to split vocals on two of the tracks. One of them would sing on Wonderwall and the other would sing on Don't Look Back in Anger. Liam eventually claimed Wonderwall for himself. Before this decision was made, however, Noel actually tried to record the song sitting on a wall. Yeah, in the freezing cold, sat on a wall outside, he had a massive microphone stand, some stepladders to hold the equipment, and he had a go at recording Wonderwall, there and then. The owner of the studio was a bit scared about his equipment being exposed to the elements, but they powered through. Although this recording didn't make it to the final version of the song, you can still hear the recording on the album. At the very beginning of the album, you can hear birds singing. That's from that recording. From there, it kicks into Hello, the album's opener. "I would have sung them both," Liam reflects, "but he got to sing one of them. I'm the singer in the band and that was my job, and once I sung it, I realised it's a good fucking tune." For a song that would go on to achieve such popularity, Wonderwall was created surprisingly quickly. In May of that year, Noel laid down the acoustic guitar track to a click track on a Tuesday. Their new drummer, Alan White, then overdubbed his part, and Noel added more guitar layers, including electric guitar, and played the bass himself. To enhance the song's calming vibe, rhythm guitarist Paul Bonehead Arthurs chose to play a mellotron, conveniently still set up in the studio after a Verve recording session. Fun fact, the music video for Wonderwall features a cello, but a cello doesn't actually appear in the recording for Wonderwall. That tone was achieved through Bonehead's mellotron, but they thought the cello would look better in the music video. The basic track for Wonderwall was completed that evening. The next morning, Liam prepared for recording with a cup of tea and a few puffs of a cigarette, before heading to the microphone. Back then, Noel would sing the song through once for Liam on acoustic guitar, just once with all the phrasing, even if some lines were freshly written, producer Morris recalls. Then Liam would go in and sing it straight through, nailing the phrasing perfectly from start to finish. It was freaky. Liam remembers this process being efficient as well. I was always eager to get to the pub, he said. As soon as I finished my vocals, I headed to the nearest pub. I didn't want to stick around watching people mess with guitars and amps. Later that day, Noel would add a piano overdub to the song's ending. When Liam listened to the mix, he told producer Morris that his vocals were too loud, which apparently is the only time he would ever say that. After the album was completed, Morris expressed concerns about whether Wonderwall, so different from Oasis's previous work, was rock and roll enough. The response from the Oasis camp was reassuring though. As long as Liam sang it, it was a rock song. According to Christina Russell, who worked at the band's label, Creation Records, and was best friends with Noel's first wife, Meg Matthews, it was obvious from the start that it was going to be a massive hit. I saw its commercial potential immediately. It was an anthem that resonated with what so many people wanted to express to someone they loved. The song articulates emotions that many, especially men, struggle to voice. Morris also remembers Creation head Alan McGee, who was dealing with substance abuse issues at the time, telling him, "That's massive, that's the big one, put everything into it." Now, Wonderwall wasn't the first single to be released from What's the Story Morning Glory, but Wonderwall would have the biggest impact, especially in the USA. The song reached number 8 in the Billboard Top 100. Its appeal extended beyond pub rock fans. It became the Oasis song for listeners over 40. Some songs people just get immediately, and that was one of them, Liam once said. For Christina Russell of Creation Records, the song Wonderwall serves as a reminder for the larger-than-life era of physical music. Back in the day, she recalls being told that the album had sold around 25 million copies worldwide, a staggering figure that seems almost unimaginable now. The money being thrown around back then was insane, Russell reflected. No one will ever sell records like that again. Adele and Coldplay are incredible artists and very successful, but they'll never match the millions upon millions that Oasis sold. It was a unique time, a place, and a movement that I don't think can ever be replicated. And Wonderwall was, without a doubt, the biggest song they ever did. Wonderwall could well be one of the last major standards from what we could call the rock era. Since the mid-90s, only a handful of rock-based songs like Bob Dylan's To Make You Feel My Love, for example, has been covered by so many prominent artists. In the same way that earlier classics were covered, like the Beatles' Yesterday, or Dylan's Forever Young, or Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah. Wonderwall, I think, now sits on that list. Liam Gallagher acknowledges that Wonderwall has reached a significant milestone in music history. It definitely has a place with the big boys for sure, he said. The funny thing is, I don't even know how to play it on guitar, and it's probably one of the easiest songs ever. When people at parties ask me to play it, I just say, "You fucking play it then." So that's the story of the song's creation, but how did it become so hated in popular culture? Let's begin with the Gallagher brothers themselves. Over the decades, Noel has been infamously indifferent towards the song. All over the world, in any city you care to name, people will sing Wonderwall, he said. I don't particularly like that song. I think Cigarettes and Alcohol is a far superior song. All the great artists have one of those songs. I'm lucky to have 5, and it's funny, in no fucking way is it my favourite song. Liam admits he's had periods when he was sick of it. He admitted it used to do his head in, as he said. I love playing it now. The minute you don't, everyone clicks off. People pay fucking good money, and you should give them what you got. The song is bigger than us, he said. And Liam and Noel touch on something here. This simultaneous popularity and disdain for the song could stem for its inoffensive nature when compared to the rest of the catalogue of Oasis. Because let's be honest, the song has definitely overshadowed their other work, leading to this idea that someone who's a fan of Wonderwall is not necessarily a fan of Oasis because the song Wonderwall is so different to all of their other songs, perhaps leading to genuine Oasis fans hating the song because of that, because of this rise of fake fans, as it were. Another big reason for its popularity, and in turn hatred, is just the sheer amount of times it's been played on the radio and beyond. Whether it's overplayed is subjective, but it certainly is one of the most played songs in existence. Its popularity lies in its accessibility. It certainly isn't the most complex song. Its lyrics are simple and the tune's built around a simplistic acoustic chord progression, making it fairly middle of the road both musically and lyrically. This, however, means it's perfect for frequent radio play, and it easily fits into wedding DJ sets, karaoke nights, and festival sing-alongs. The widespread dislike of Wonderwall likely comes from the fact that people are simply tired of hearing it. Like I mentioned earlier, 500,000 streams per week on Spotify. It is the most streamed song of the 70s, 80s, and 90s, beating artists like Fleetwood Mac, Toto, and Queen. In 2020, it became the first song from the 90s to reach 1 billion streams, and then reached 2 billion streams on Spotify just 4 years after. And with the reunion just announced, I wouldn't be surprised if that saw another massive spike from now. And with mass distribution like this, it became the target of memes and internet videos poking fun at the notion that Wonderwall is an easy song to play on acoustic guitar, or how it's often one of the first songs people learn to play. These memes reinforce the idea that Wonderwall is too popular, creating this culture around the song about people who play it being superficial. One of the earliest mentions of Wonderwall as this meme is from this video by the then named College Humor, emphasizing this stereotype that Wonderwall is perhaps for people who want to have that image of being a guitar player without actually being able to play the guitar. Or in other words,
hi, welcome to Learning How to Play Guitar. Well enough to get you laid, Volume 1. There are literally thousands of chords, but only 4 of them are needed to play Wonderwall.
So now we've got this interesting phenomenon. People around in the 90s and noughties not liking the song because it was being played on radio too much, or because it's simply too middle of the road or doesn't reflect Oasis's proper music. And then this meme emerging with the rise of the internet, reinforcing this idea and perpetuating this stereotype for new generations of fans, and no doubt future generations to come as well. But future generations will have no choice but to thank Oasis, because their reunion might have the power to bring rock and roll back to the mainstream charts. Click over here to watch that video next.